What's up, mob? Hey, how about the Daytona Crazycross? Don, come in here and say hi. Oh, he's taking off. That's Don, Christmas Trap's dad, who just corrected me on some moto information because he knows his shit. This track was the scariest track, hands down, that I've ever seen. Fans went absolutely bonkers, but I have some interesting thoughts on that, and I'll get to those. But hey, guys, remember, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that right now. I appreciate it. It definitely helps the channel. And for some reason, people are getting unsubscribed when you're not unsubscribing. So if you want to go ahead and just check and make sure you're still subscribed, I'd appreciate it. Let's get into this, guys.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Jett Lawrence was so technical. And everyone was talking, making picks, talking about who's going to win. And I went with Jett from every second that I saw him out there. In the one of the earlier practice sessions before it got kind of really soft, he was hitting that 3 onto the table. A couple of guys did it. Sexton almost died trying it. Ferrandis hit it pretty good, but Jett made it look routine. I was like, oh dear Lord, this kid has got it dialed in. I'm like, he does stuff that other guys are kind of scared to do, like the quad. Heading into that rhythm section, Jett was not scared, and he never even looked sketchy over it. And both Chase and Tomac decided, hey, I gotta pull this out, but they didn't do it right off the bat. They were a little bit more cautious. But geez, I don't know. I'm telling you, this kid is good. And to beat Eli Tomac straight up at Daytona, and Tomac was riding his ass off. I mean, you know, the old school Tomac, when he starts really pushing, he always smokes that clutch and the bike starts smoking. That thing was smoking about 3 laps in. You could see a little bit coming off it. I was like, oh my gosh, is it gonna make the race? But it's crazy how those Yamahas are so durable, and it just kept going. It made the whole race. So good on Star Yamaha and those guys for keeping a bike underneath Eli under that incredible beast mode pressure. And I was waiting to see if any of the fans in Daytona booed Jett. Nobody booed. He didn't get the loudest pop. The biggest crowd cheers were for Aaron Plessinger, of course, and Eli Tomac. And I want to talk about the tire change. What are they doing? So some of the guys took a hot lap, and Team Honda decided it'd be a good idea to switch to a fresh tire for the start. Yeah, I get that that's a little bit of an advantage, but they cut it close. I mean, poor Jett was running around there. You weigh the benefits. Okay, so you get a little bit better start, but like Don, who was just out here, was telling me, put it on the stand, give it a rev, spin the dirt off, and then just maybe give it a quick brush. That's way easier and risky, not nearly as risky as changing a tire. You change a wheel right before you go on. And yes, I know I'm a bad mechanic, but sometimes I don't get stuff lined up, and it takes me a second to get it right. I know these guys are professionals, but accidents happen when you rush. You're down on the starting line, stress is up. I don't like it. I just don't think the reward outweighs the risk. The risk is Jett barely made that start, and now he's got his heart rate spiked for those the first few laps. Just a bad move on Honda's part. I wouldn't do that again. If you really think it's that big of an advantage to have a fresh tire, don't do the hot lap. Tomac, yes, beast mode's back, but there's this kid that is just good, and he's forcing Sexton and Tomac to go even higher on their level. Remember how high Sexton and Tomac were outdoors? Jett's taking that to a whole new level, and but these guys, they're not going to let him have it. They're going to keep pushing him. This is not over. Sexton's still in it. Jett's still in, Sexton's in it. Tomac's in it. Webb's still in it. Webb broke really good, but he had a bad start. I'll get into him in a second. Hey guys, I'm out here where we're going to have the barbecue, and Coach Rob's coming by. And if you get a chance, go to the Coach Rob store and get his cookbook. If you want to travel and eat healthy. I doubt we'll be eating healthy at the barbecue today, but who cares? It's a barbecue. So we're going to have some fun. CoachRobStore.com. Epic Garage Designs. If you want some cool stuff for your garage, you want a rack that lowers and raises, hit up Epic Garage Design. It was funny with Sexton. So they did the introductions, and Wes Kane's down on the floor, and he goes, do you think you can win tonight? In this really calm, unconfident voice, Sexton's like, yeah, I think I can. I was like, wow, your body language says no. But clearly, Sexton has this belief in himself that he can win no matter what, and this is a guy who's willing to send it, and he will. And if him and Tomac both think they needed to take more risks, Trust me, that's never been Sexton's problem. Everybody said, calm down, calm down, calm down. Well, now he's getting beat. Look for the old Sexton to come back where he just sends. Cooper Webb rode awesome. He's really good at Daytona. But this track, this Crazycross, I've never seen a track this dangerous, and it got a little one-lined, and you didn't know where to go or what you were going to get when you moved off of that line. There were some really soft sections, and you see the guys struggling to get the right speed on the triples because it was like, okay, do I slow down? And usually those guys can go up to those things, just kind of up and just give it a pop. Well, in the sand, you couldn't do that. You had to get momentum. It was tricky. And I don't like these triples and big jumps at the end of a long straightaway. Now the guys have to slow down and really measure how much to give the bike, and to give it too little, too much. The track design was okay. I was okay with the track design because you only have so much to work with. I'm not a big fan of the long Red Bull straight rhythm sections. I just think they just make for carnage, and especially when it's soft. But like I said, you can't really control what the weather does. If the weather was good, it probably wouldn't have been as bad, but it is what it is. Speaking of a dangerous track, we all know Ken Roczen. He's a guy that when he doesn't feel comfortable or when it gets real dangerous, he doesn't want to have an incident like he had when he hurt his arm. When he hurt his arm, the track was going away and he still pushed it. Nowadays, when that happens, he will definitely take the slower, safer route and live to ride another day. And that's what Roczen did. Clearly, when the track was in better shape in the heat race, it was still pretty torn up. But when it was in better shape, he rode really good. He got the heat win. But in the main event, you could see he went hard, but he didn't hit that level where Sexton, Tomac, and Jett were at. He definitely kept it at a consistent pace. And we're here in Daytona Beach with Strapped. We got Chris, Don, Richard, and we're about to have a barbecue out here for all the mob members. So just if you want, go to ridestrap.com, get yourself a new shirt. Chris is making some new shirts. They're distressed. Yeah, he's got the coolest stuff. So please do yourself a favor and just order a shirt. And they're the softest fiber. I love these shirts. They're so comfortable. I promise, you will not be dissatisfied if you get yourself a Ride Strap shirt, an Industry Outsider, a Red Pill, whatever. Man, I got to meet Pat Madden from Precision Transport. Him and his family were some of the nicest people I've ever met. I sat and talked with them for so long, and honestly, I don't think Pat and I even talked about motocross. He's a big jiu-jitsu guy. We talked, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, MMA, and wow, I'll tell you what, we did the picture, I got my arm around him. That dude is built like a brick. If you see Pat Madden, you better not mouth off or you'll wind up choked out. If you need to ship anything, go over to Precision Transport. Pat Madden and the family, they will get you dialed in. They have customer service, good pricing. It's pretransport.com. So all three of the star Yamaha 450 guys looked good. J. Coop was solid. Webb rode really good. Bad start in the main, but those guys were solid. The guy I was watching for is Malcolm Stewart. Malcolm rode so good all day, and I know he's one of those guys, when it gets scary, Malcolm is not scared. Unfortunately, he was way back. I think in the first lap, he was like 16th or 15th. He was even behind Webb, I believe. But he charged up and got 7th. Malcolm's finding his groove. Look for some big things. He's going to get on the podium before the season's over, and I think it will save him and give him at least a net. I hope he has a ride for next year. He's too good to just mail it in. It looks like he's finding his form. It took him a while. He missed all of last season, so it took him a while to get into the groove, and now he is. I hope they stick with him for at least another year. Ferrandis was looking fast. He was looking like he wanted to get that podium here, and he was going for it. If not for a couple crashes in the main, he could have got it. He was the other guy that was doing that 3 on table. I saw him hit it pretty good. But yeah, Dylan Ferrandis looks really good. He's comfortable, and I can't wait to see if he rides this good at Daytona. He's going to be tough outdoors on that Phoenix Honda 450. Poor Hunter Lawrence. Dang. Not only is he playing second fiddle to his brother, he just starts to get his season on track, and he had a nasty spill. Right before the finish line, you come out of that turn, and he high-sided, and it didn't look good. He got up, rode off, but he rode off gingerly, and it was hard to tell from where I was at, but it looked like he was holding his arm down. That's not good. I'm waiting for an update on that. I'm hoping Hunter's okay, because like I said, kind of like Malcolm, he's starting to find his legs in the 450 class. not Malcolm in the 450 class, but Malcolm for the season. And both of these guys are looking to kind of improve on that. Man, an injury would really set Hunter back, and this poor guy's been through so much. But hopefully he's okay. At the end of the race, so I think it's becoming like a Daytona tradition. I think it happened last year where the fans mob the track and run over the podium. And I love it. I think that's absolutely awesome. I mean, they look like, remember when we had the toilet paper shortage? They looked like they were at Walmart fighting for toilet paper, ripping goggles off of Jett. The crowd are maniacs, and I'm okay with that. The one thing I have exception with is, can you please wait till the bikes are off the track? Anderson's still out there, and they mob the track. Could you imagine if he hit somebody and caused some serious damage? And while I don't want to stop this tradition, because I love when fans storm the field in football or after a basketball game, and I know it's kind of dangerous, but it's extremely dangerous if you do that with a 220-pound bike, hot, a rider hauling ass with sharp foot pegs. It can be dangerous. So please wait another 90 seconds until these guys are all off the track before you storm it. I'm not saying don't storm it. I'm saying wait 90 seconds. And security, come on. At least try to hold them back while the riders are out there. Anyway, guys, thanks for everything. If you need a real estate agent, I'm your guy. I'm going to go help get ready for the barbecue, and I will catch you guys later.